Last night in front of 50,000 strong, the Rockies proved once again they can hang with baseball's elite. Outstanding pitching, league-leading defense, and clutch hitting was once again the magic formula that has made the Rockies the hottest team in the game right now. Tonight, the Rockies face another challenge as Andy Pettitte takes the mound for the Yanks. The Rockies send their own top lefty in Jeff Francis and try to clinch another series win against the AL East. Rockies, Yankees, Game 2, next. Well, last night was so much fun, they've decided to do it again. Interleague play, the Rockies and a team from the Bronx named the Yankees. On another glorious late afternoon, early evening in the Rocky Mountains. Colorado a couple of games over 500. And their esteemed colleagues from New York also a couple of games over 500. Welcome once again. I'm Drew Goodman. What a ball game for the Rockies last night. They win it 3-1 in an electric atmosphere, and they did a lot of the little things right. Clutch hitting, Garrett Atkins driving in a run. They get a run from the bottom of the order, a home run, in fact, from Yorvit Torrealba, a big out from the bullpen, displayed by LaTroy Hawkins, and then the finish by Brian Fuentes. All was right with the Rockies last night. It began, of course, with Josh Fogg, and as I turn to my partner, George Frazier, we cannot discount what those two speed guys do at the top.
Well, it's not only that, what they do at the plate, too. I mean, the havoc they create in the infield defensively last night. Willie Taveras on a base hit, then he steals second base, gets into scoring position for Garrett Atkins to put a first run across the board with this base hit. Then you turn around and it's Matsui's turn. Matsui does a great job stealing bases. 12th, he's only been thrown out one time, set it up for Matt Holliday on a fastball away, a base hit to right field. Matsui outruns the throw from Bobby Abreu into the plate. A guy typically has a plus arm, not even a close play. That speed will kill you at the top of the order, but what you have to do as a pitcher is concentrate first and foremost getting guys out.
It affects the defense, it affects the guy on the hill, it affects the manager in the opposition dugout.
It's a matter of being able to get them out when they're at the plate as opposed to trying to pick them off or throw them out stealing. And the fact of the matter is that's where they put the pressure on the pitcher.
Yeah, that's the bottom line with speed guys. Don't let them get on first base. But guess what? Both of these guys hitting over 300.
Yeah, they're getting on first base, but then all of a sudden you got to try to block them out of the mind if you can and say, I've got to get the guy at the plate. Last night they did not get Atkins, they did not get Holliday, and it resulted in runs.
All right, the Rockies ready to go, the Yankees ready to go. Brad Hopp is putting a microphone on for us tonight. Colorado and New York, come on back to Coors Field with us.
At the Gatorade Sports Science Institute, we test athletes in the lab. Because we know they'll be tested on the field. Gatorade, the most tested sports drink on the planet.
99-cent root beer float, huh?
And there's for mine.
You are paying.
Thank you.
Wow.
Why don't you go ahead and keep the change? Put a little gas in the car.
Ah, yes. The change.
Mm-hmm.
I get to keep a penny?
That makes it sound so small. Why don't you go ahead and keep the change?
Oh, okay. See, that's why you're doing it. You've
Keep
never
the
gotten a
change.
chance to say that, have you?
99-cent root beer float. Sonic's got it, others don't. A cool, frothy summertime favorite, now just 99 cents. Because Sonic is open till midnight or later, and it's even sweeter after dark.
Take me out to insurance. Take me to Savings Online. Auto insurance that's hassle-free. When you buy it, instantly let me quote. Buy with that insurance. If you don't save, it's a shame. For it's $100, $200, $300 you could save with the insurance name.
Save time and money on your auto insurance at Esurance.
Alex Rodriguez powers the Yankees against Barry Bonds and the Giants. This week on Fox Saturday Baseball.
Thank you.
You could save with Geico Motorcycle Insurance. Enough for a night out with your special someone. Geico Motorcycle. Let's ride.
Life is hard. Pay-per-view is easy.
Stop acting like you're trying to understand our situation.
Why don't you explain it to me?
We in a war.
Isn't that the brother of the guy who owes you money?
There's a missing persons poster on every street corner.
We can look anywhere in the past. This is the actual past.
Yes. You think you know what's coming? You don't have a clue.
DirecTV pay-per-view. Just press a button and you're watching your movie.
Our team recaps all the highlights from tonight's game. Next on the FSN Live Chevy Postgame Report.
Colorado Rockies baseball on FSN is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. With more flights to more places than ever before, Southwest is taking low fares farther. Visit southwest.com. And by Affleck. Ask about it at work. The Yankees lost last night to the Rockies 3-1. Joe Torre, 26 seasons as a manager, 12 seasons in New York. And here is his lineup, much the same as last night. Melky Cabrera in center field, then Derek Jeter riding a 13-game hitting streak. Bobby Abreu in the 3-hole, then A-Rod 4. Jorge Posada behind the plate tonight. He was at first base initially last night. Then Hideki Matsui, Robinson Cano. Getting a start at first base is Andy Phillips. Last night was his first big league action in '07. And Andy Pettit, the former Yankee, former Astro, and now a Yankee again, is on the hill. And here we go. Jeff Francis to face Melky Cabrera. And the first pitch drops in at the knee. Strike one. It's met by cheers. You got to like that.
And I think the big thing with Jeff Francis, he just tried to control those emotions early in this ball game on a huge stage, packed house, New York Yankees, and he did a nice job of it on the first pitch.
And the first pitch of the ball game, the temperature was 93 degrees. And a ground ball to short. Tulowitzki got an in-between hop, shows off the big strong arm, and Cabrera is out.
As we look at Jeff Francis's numbers on the season, what a turnaround it's been since the first 2 or 3 starts. His 15th start of the year tonight, 6-5 overall record, 59 punch-outs. Loves the big stage. I think this kid just addresses this so well. Command of the slider down on these right-handed power hitters. Talking about Jeter, and I think you have to deal with that away from him on Abreu and, of course, A-Rod.
Well, here is Derek Jeter. 13-game hitting streak. You know what, folks? This year he already has a 20-game hitting streak and another hitting streak of 19 games. That's ridiculous. And the fastball on the outside corner at 89. In fact, he has a 21-game hitting streak in interleague play with a .388 average over his last 21 against National League clubs.
Yeah, you can tell early Francis with good sink down and away on an 0-1 pitch to Jeter. And you like what you see here because it's the late movement. It's the location. The deception with his delivery didn't allow Jeter to get a very good hack at that baseball. Coors Field winning percentage, Jeff Francis, 65% at 21-11. Hampton and Jennings, Cook, and Kevin Ritz was in 5th place on that list.
The 0-2, and it's a breaking pitch that was real short. Derek Jeter wants that baseball thrown out.
And that's all right. Not a bad place. I mean, a little bit short, obviously, where you want to put it, but you get it out of the way. Had a quick out on balls in, on a ground ball to short. Got ahead 0-2 with fastballs.
Line drive to right field, so it's now a 14-game hitting streak. Let's take a look at the Rockies defensively. In the outfield, it's Holiday, Taveras, and Hoff. They have the same lineup as last night. Atkins, Tulowitzki, Matsui, and Helton in the infield. And Yorvit Torrealba, the big home run last night, doing the catching once again. Matt Holiday has gotten only 1 day off this year. May 9th on the road against St. Louis. Well, the headline in the New York Post today, lost in the fog. He was brilliant last night. 4 hits over 7 innings, allowed just 1 run, and he kept the Yankees and their booming offense off balance throughout. Strike one on Bobby Abreu. Abreu has been on base more than 53% of the time in the month of June, after his worst month as a major leaguer in May. Hit barely over the Mendoza line in May. That pitch is outside, 1-1.
Jeter has 7 stolen bases. He's been thrown out 5 times. And the thing interesting watching him trying to get a read as he looks into the sun on Jeff Francis.
This is that time of day when you hit the ball to the left side for a first baseman. It is hard to pick up the throw.
Unless you're somebody like Todd Helton. I think it helps because he's played it so many times. During he wears the glasses as he plays to help deflect it. The infielders know it. They keep the ball down as much as they can. And Helton's wearing the old flip down glasses, which you don't see a lot of anymore. You see those 15, 20 years ago in the outfield because it really gives you a total block on the sun.
Some guys put those contact lenses in. You have no idea that they're even utilizing any sort of shade. Good pitch there, and it's 2-2. '26-year-old Jeff Francis beat Boston in his last outing. Went 5 innings, did not give up a run, 7 hits, struck out 6, walked 2. He's won 4 of his last 5. 2-2, and that was very close.
A veteran umpire behind the plate in Tim Wilkie, typically a pretty good ball strike guy. And it was very close, and what really induced a little bit out of the crowd was the way Torrealba continued to hold it right there on that outside part of the plate.
Welke, Jim Reynolds, a kid Todd Tishner, and Lance Barksdale. 3-2 on Abreu, and he's gone. Good pitch by Jeff Francis.
You'd think you'd see it Houston, the American League, to see a little more breaking ball on a full count. A lot of confidence from Francis as we look at the keys to tonight's ball game. Carry that momentum over from yesterday in front of 49,000. You're able to beat the Yankees. Repeat A-Rod. In other words, keep him there. The unsung heroes yesterday, guys like Torrealba that you don't see get a lot of headlines, got him yesterday. All of those keys are brought to you by Burt Toyota.
Alex Rodriguez, a single in 4 trips last night. Josh Fogg struck him out twice. I thought the 2 best pitches he threw all night. He threw a number of very good ones. We're to A-Rod. This is a ground ball to Tulowitzki. And on the move, he will throw out Alex Rodriguez. He is so accurate from any position when he makes a fielding play. Good first inning.
Meet Magnus Vermagnuson, the strongest man in the world. Mr. Magnuson can lift a car over his head, carry an anvil the length of a football field, Magnus. Pull a 747 jet with his teeth. And at the end of a long, hot, strenuous day, what does the world's strongest man call for?
Coors Light.
Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Magnus. Hey, buddy. How? Oh. Sorry.
Not all the energy for our fuel comes from oil in the ground. A lot of it comes from our people, who year in and year out put so much of their energy into everything they do. So you can be sure that when you put Valero gas into your tank, you're going to get a lot out of it. Valero, the energy to take you anywhere.
How can you change a kid's life?
Just by playing catch.
It's as easy as that?
It's as easy as that. Play catch, come to a ball game, and eat some nachos.
Become a sports buddy, and not only can you play catch, shoot hoops, and attend sporting events, but you'll also change a kid's life forever. Check it out at denversportsbuddies.com, and check out the great deals at cheaperfords.com, where a loaded 05 Explorer is just $15,900.
Join Sports Buddies and change a kid's life. It's game time.
Those gloves starting to get loose in this stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's a good job. Woo! Love that altitude. They're going to get nothing from me today. Feel bad for everybody.
You're all mic'd up. You're just trying to get some TV time.
Tonight, well, guess what, Brad? We've already gotten something from you as we go to the bottom of the first inning. Again, Brad Hoff wearing a wireless microphone tonight. Here's Clint Hurdle's lineup. Willie Taveras again will lead things off. Willie's in the middle of things last night. He scored a run. Kaz Matsui scored a run out of the 2-hole. Matt Holliday drove in a run. Todd Helton was on base 3 times. Garrett Atkins drove in a run. Brad Hopp in the 6-hole. Troy Tulowitzki 7. Torrey Alba with a home run last night. And Jeff Francis batting 9th. Most of the good numbers on offense for your V so far at Coors Field this year. And here's the veteran Andy Pettitte, George.
Yeah, Andy Pettitte, 190 wins. 153 of those came in a Yankee uniform. Be there, done that. I mean, been there, done that. He's been in this position before where he's had to turn things around for the New York Yankees. And I think by Clemens showing up pitching the way he was, these two guys are so close that he was one of those guys just carries it over to the mound and has pitched very well of late. Does all things well. Pound the strike zone. Likes to work fast guys. He likes to get the ball up into the zone to get the ball in the air, obviously, to try to eliminate some of that speed on the ground. When got ball hit on the ground, that's the guys with the speed. Taveras and Matsui, that's their friend.
Down low, it's 2-0. We talked about it during the pregame show. Andy Pettitte, complete game performance in his last outing against the Rockies. He's 2-0 with a .229 in 3 starts against Colorado.
Cutter. I mean, he's not a guy that runs it above 90 anymore, but he's a guy kind of like Francis in the respect that he pitches. I mean, that's what he does well. Last defeated the Rockies. You see that in 06, 3-hit shutout.
Slowly hit to Jeter. He got a good hop, and he'll throw out Taveras easily. 1 out, and we'll check the Yankees defensively. Hideki Matsui in left field again. Melky Cabrera in center field. Johnny Damon did come off the bench and played some first base yesterday. Bobby Abreu's in right. Rodriguez and Jeter on the left side. Cano and Andy Phillips on the right side. Now yesterday, Jorge Posada got a start at first base. Phillips and Damon filled in late in the ball game. Andy Phillips was up most of last year with the Yankees. Here's Kaz Matsui batting from the right side. He got a start on Sunday against a left-hander and Scott Kazmir, and first time up against Kazmir, he took him deep. His 12 at bats from the right side so far this year for Matsui. And the curveball is reached for and it's popped up. Phillips will make the play. 2 outs.
I'll tell you how difficult that sun is in right field, folks. If you watch, sometimes like that ball was hit into the air, and about 30 people in that sun area right behind first. They're all pointing to where the ball is for everybody around them. I mean, it's tough to pick that ball up into the air, and once it gets up, I mean, Phillips does a nice job. Never took his eye off of it. He finds it. He lets Cano know, I've got it.
2 outs and Matt Holliday. Matt at .364, continuing to lead the National League in hitting. Last night he had only 1 hit. It was an RBI hit. And I say only because he had a stretch of 5 straight games, as that pitch is inside, where he had multi-hit games. But Matt yesterday on base 3 times, a single and 2 walks.
By the way, you look at left-handed ERAs around baseball. Pettitte's 3rd at .293. Francis 8th at .361. What a turnaround, huh? His first couple of starts for Jeff Francis.
2-0 to Holliday. He got a fastball and it's dribbled to short. Good start for Pettitte. Same deal for Jeff Francis. We go to inning number 2. No score.
Welcome to California.
We cruise.
We fly.
We run.
We go with the flow.
We let go.
And we believe one simple thing.
That every day in California
is your lucky day.
Is your lucky day.
So there's just one thing you have to ask yourself.
How fast can you get here?
Find yourself in California. Introducing Southwest Airlines' new nonstop service from Denver to the Bay Area for just $79 one way.
You are now free to move about the country.
With Herculiner, it's easy to roll on a truck bed liner. It won't chip, flake, or peel. Herculiner is the only one with a textured rubber and polyurethane formula, built Turn any truck bed into a tough, skid-proof, rust-resistant surface. Do it all yourself for less than $100. With Herculiner, the tough comes easy.
Now, all your favorite epic movies will get rolled into one.
Yay!
You gotta be kidding me. The nachos are cheesier. The codes are Da Vincier.
So lame with the hair of Tom. Ew, it was so lame.
And the planes are snakier.
I've had it with these snakes on this plane. I heard you. Now, can you please go get some braid?
I'm so hot.
Epic movie.
Tonight's Super Slow-Mo replays are brought to you by your Colorado Hyundai dealers. With special lease rates now through July 2nd on the Hyundai Santa Fe. Visit your Colorado Hyundai dealer today. Look what the Hyundai cam can do. Wow.
In midair, just shut it down, boys.
That thing.
That's pretty neat, isn't it?
Fortunately, that is super slow-mo, because otherwise, let's say that helicopter is in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, it's going to head downward.
That is so, honestly, that is really, really cool.
And we'll have that camera for you throughout the year. That's the other neat part about it. So those close plays at the plate that we want to yell at the umpires on, the close plays at first base with all that speed, we'll be able to help them out a little bit.
Absolutely. So why'd they miss it? We slowed it down to frame by frame. He was clearly out. Strike one on Jorge Posada. He was hitting equally well right-handed as he is left-handed this year. The total's 344, his best start. He's had some outstanding years for the New York Yankees. You know, I think because of Jeter, A-Rod recently, Giambi, I mean, all the great players they've had play there. In the tenure of Jorge Posada, he somehow gets lost a little bit in the shuffle.
Well, I would agree with you. Did you mention Bernie Williams?
Yeah, Bernie Williams.
It's a guy that covered him up.
Sure, first time in years and years you haven't talked about Bernie Williams prominently with the Yankees. Obviously he's not there. There's the Rocket. He'll go tomorrow, sitting next to Derek Jeter. 3-1 right now on Posada. Posada, in fact, has caught 120 or more games for 7 straight years. The only other catcher, Jason Kendall, who could make that claim. And a base hit for Posada. Jorge's hitting 17 of his last 18. Well, Hideki Matsui steps up, and he sent a scare in the Rockies last night. 3-1, they were leading. Brian Fuentes, first batter in the 9th inning, was Matsui, and he lined one off the left center field wall, right center field wall. But he stalled at third base as Fuentes struck out 2 in earning another save. 19th save of the year for Brian Fuentes. One of the few Yankees who does not have great numbers against Colorado. That's in there, 1-1. George, what a contrast last night's ball game was. 3-1 to the games we saw the last time the Yankees were here. 10-5, 14-11, and 20-10 in between.
20-10, yeah, 20-10. As a matter of fact, the 20-10 games, the game Pettit started.
On the corner with the fastball, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, I remember last night, if Fuentes up, I mean, Matsui does such a good job, and you watch Matsui, both Matsuis in this game, they pull off the ball. So when they pull off and you happen to hang that breaking ball in the middle of the plate, they can make you pay in a hurry. You just got to be careful. I mean, you got to stay to that outer half of the plate, and if you go there, get it down.
Like that. On the outside corner with an off-speed delivery, Matsui's gone. Second strikeout of the ball game for Jeff Francis.
How about this? You talk about pinpoint control from Francis, where he started that pitch and where the release was. You can see Matsui walking out of it. We're going to show you on the Hyundai cam now. watch everything start to walk out. Everything opens up on Matsui because this pitch is going to start back out here and come to the outside corner out of Francis's hand. I mean, that's the biggest thing about it for me. The less velocity and movement, the rotation. Now watch, here it comes. Everything's spinning out, the head's going to go with it. He's trying to track the baseball, but when everything else flies, you don't have a shot. And he didn't have a shot there.
Curveball, ball one on Robinson Cano.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Watch his feet, head, and everything else. I mean, it's like everything is stretched out to reach. That ball was a good 3 to 4 inches beyond his bat.
One out, Posada at first.
Yeah, that's the one. You know, that's the one pitch, Drew, that doesn't get called anymore. The knee-high fastball, and you know that all changed when they said speed the game up, raise the strike zone. You'll have more strikes called, and you know I think what you've done when you raise it up, you create more offense. You lengthen the game.
(3-0) on Cano.
Heat will be a factor. Drew mentioned 93 degrees at the beginning of this ball game, so heat's going to be a factor. So you like short innings early in this game until the sun sets. Save the energy, obviously, in your starting pitcher.
Cano last night 0 for 4. And Matsui gets there. He's not going to be able to roll it toward Tulowitzki. Everybody's safe. It'll be an infield hit for Cano.
Yeah, this ball, I mean, Francis just not wanting to walk the batter. This ball pretty center cut. Matsui with a nice play, and as he went to grab the baseball, squirted out of the hand. As he goes and gets it right there out of the glove, just couldn't get a firm grip on it as he tried to pick off Posada at second. Nice effort to knock it down, yet to make an error on the year. How about that? We talk about his speed, we talk about his bat, but his defense, no errors on the year.
The Rockies defense has been airtight all year. It's been the steadiest part of their overall game. 1-0 on Andy Phillips. Hit 9 home runs last year for the Yankees. All 9 in his career. In fact, occurring last year. That's outside. And so now Jeff falls behind another hitter, 2-0. Phillips was hitting .301 for Scranton Wilkes-Barre when he was called up. It's really strange to think of Scranton Wilkes-Barre as the Yankees AAA affiliate, not Columbus. 3-0.
Yeah, pretty good pitch there by Francis, though. Tried to induce just a ground ball, try to get a double play, shorten this inning up. A lot of pitches in this inning for Jeff Francis. 16 strikes, 15 balls so far in the ball game. 31 pitches total. Glenn Hurdle. One thing about Hurdle, I think he's realized with his patience that it took time for these guys to get better. He's even got more patience now than he ever has.
3-1 on Phillips. Hitting out of the 8-hole. Pettit's on deck. Phillips from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Pretty good football town.
They're not bad, are they?
92,000 for the spring game this year. Double play ball. Matsui going to take it himself, and the Rockies get to the dugout, and they'll have Pettit leading off next inning. Well done by Kaz. Coming up for the Rockies, Help, Atkins, and Hop.
This is not a mountain. It's a way of life. A vintage year. It's an adrenaline rush. A moment of discovery. It's 8 seconds of suspense. Or a whole day of just letting go. It's music to your ears. It's what you'll always remember. But there's one thing it isn't. It's not just a mountain. Let's talk excitement. Let's talk fun. Let's talk Colorado at Colorado.com.
Hey, boss. Do we have Aflac?
Nah, we have something else.
But if you're hurt and miss work, does it pay cash like Aflac does?
Nah.
Or let you spend it any way you want, like for gas and groceries?
Nah.
Or help with everyday bills like Aflac does?
Nah.
There's only one Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Nice try, boss.
Nah.
Jeter singles to start the eighth.
Go ahead, take it. Here's the thing. That Schmendrick, he keeps looking over here. And that one, he's got a gun. But you gotta do what you gotta do. Ah, steal it. It's a beautiful thing.
These solar panels will produce 14,000 kilowatt hours of energy, enough to run the Rockpile LED board at Coors Field for 1 year. Join the Colorado Rockies in saving energy and visit excelenergy.com to learn how you can benefit from solar. Last night, a crowd of around 50,000. Tonight, it looks much the same as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Drew Goodman, George Frazier upstairs, Carissa Thompson downstairs.
Thank you, Drew. Last night, I mentioned how Troy Tulowitzki's favorite player growing up was Derek Jeter. Well, today before the game, Troy officially got to meet his hero growing up. So after that, I asked Derek Jeter who was a player that he idolized growing up and what it was like when he finally got to meet him. He said when he finally met Dave Winfield, he was in awe, almost speechless. He didn't really know what to do. Dave Winfield, as you know, a Hall of Famer, played 22 years in the league, actually entered Cooperstown as the first Padre to do so, but he also played for the Yankees 1981 through 1990. And George, you played with the Yankees in 1981. Can you see why Jeter idolized him growing up?
There's no question, Carissa. This guy did so much in uniform, but out of uniform. We're in the inner city. How about this? 1,000 hits, Todd Helton.
Now one of 5 players, George, to have produced 1,000 hits in the same ballpark, and he is getting a well-deserved standing ovation. There's another guy who has 1,000 hits in one ballpark. He plays shortstop for the Yankees, Derek Jeter. The others on the list, Frank Thomas, Garrett Anderson, and Sammy Sosa. Only Jeter, Anderson, and Helton still play for the same clubs where they produced that record. Well done, Todd. Earlier this year, Helton passed 1,000 RBIs. That's quite a milestone. And now 1,000 hits at Coors Field. Inside on Atkins, 1-1. Garrett drove in a run last night. He's picked it up, hitting .309 over his last 19 games. And I believe there's much better still to come. Todd, if you're wondering, has 1,778 career hits now. And this time the battle's won by Andy Pettitte.
Let's take a look at the outfield arms of the New York Yankees. Really one strong one, that's in right field, but Matsui's strength just average. Accuracy is a little bit above average. Cabrera in center field, accuracy all over the place. And he does have a very, very strong arm in center field. And Bobby Abreu has been one of those guys that kind of under the radar. A very strong arm, very accurate arm, and a guy that obviously in the right field in a position for the strength of that arm. All of that's brought to you by Franklin D'Azar and Associates. Injured in an accident, call Franklin D'Azar and Associates. One call, that's all.
Ball one on Hop. Brad getting more and more playing time, consistent playing time against left-handers, and really some of the better left-handers in the game. Scott Kazmir, one of the top young lefties, on Sunday, and here's 35-year-old Andy Pettitte, turned 35 a few days ago.
I think the big thing is the trust in the manager to say this guy can hit lefties. I mean, that's the biggest thing to get over, that hump, to get over in your mind. But for a player, he's sitting there going, hold on, time out. I hit him all the way through the minor leagues. Now, Hop's only hit .212 against left-handers, limited duty there, 323, 11 home runs, but the one bomb he did hit against the lefty, 8 RBIs. I mean, there's a lot of things to factor into it, but you kind of let him go. Because if that lefty makes a mistake with a slider, a breaking ball, something out over the plate, and he hits the home run, with the streak that he's been in.
That was one of the better pitches he's thrown. That looked like almost a hard slider, but looking at the speed on it, George, I think it was a fastball that just cut.
Yeah, a little cut fastball with a lot of tilt to it, too. And that's kind of what Steve Carlton used to throw. You get way up on top of it, cut it, and when you reach out on top of it, you'll get some of that sink action away from the left-handed hitter. That's kind of a risky thing to do. Pettit threw the ball to first base with Todd Helton there. I know on a 1-2 count he may think he's in a hit-and-run situation with a lefty up. The problem you have is the son dealing with Phillips at first base, who hasn't played first base. You just elevate the risk of mistakes and the risk of obviously putting a guy in scoring position.
2-2. Two and 1 out. Helton at first base. And Hop keeps the at bat alive. Giants lost again, George. Everybody else keeps winning in the division. Rockies 5.5 out. Hard to make up ground. Every time you look up, Arizona's winning, San Diego's winning, the Dodgers are winning. Arizona won earlier, 7-4 over Tampa.
Yeah, the Dodgers, you mentioned it, 12-1 right now. Toronto crushing. High heat, a lot of changeups, a lot of curveballs away, and then elevated the fastball and got Hop to chase it at 88 miles an hour. You know, when you get everything down as a pitcher, and you get a guy's focus is down from him, and you've thrown everything down here, then you elevate up here, you got a pretty good chance of getting the ball by him. On the Hyundai cam, you can really see that Hop, as he tried to make that commitment, watch the hands right in here, see how tight they get in on the body, and that's where he doesn't get that good extension. Trying to get your hands through it, get the bat on it, just didn't happen.
Curveball he didn't get on top of there. Tulowitzki takes ball 1. Troy hitting .352 against southpaws. Inside 2-0.
And with a rookie, a lot of times you pound him in on the hands. You don't want to allow him to have that extension. And you know, with Tulowitzki, the one thing I have noticed, balls up, balls away from him, he has the ability to drive with authority to the opposite field. He's quit trying to hook everything, trying to pull it. He just hits it where it's pitched.
And 3-0 with Torrealba on deck. Ball 4, and that pushes Helton to second base and brings up one of the hitting stars from last night, Yorvi Torrealba. Rockies were ahead 2-1 when Torrealba came up in the 6th inning. Mike Mussina fastball. Yorvi Torrealba, big swing, big fly. Rockies 3, Yankees 1. That was the final score. And the Rockies, particularly George, over the last month, have lived a charmed life with 2 outs.
Yeah, they have. They have swung the bat so well with 2 outs throughout this last month. The big base hits, that's why they've won a lot of their ball games late in games, but taking advantage of situations just like this one.
And inside ball 1 on Torrealba.
I think the first couple of innings you come into this park, as a visiting pitcher from the American League, even though Pettit has made one start here, you're so conscious in keeping the ball down. But sometimes you overthrow and you're out of the strike zone. Right now he seems to be in that pattern a little bit.
You know, Pettit, George, is a little herky-jerky. How tough do you think it is to pick that up for
well,
a hitter?
He's long-armed, but what happens is he hides it so well behind the back leg. So when you hide it that well, it's hard to pick it up till it's right up on top. So I think, obviously, it benefits him. I mean, you know, 190 and 108, not a bad record overall in his career. 153 and 82 in a Yankee uniform. I thought interesting in the National League, though, 37 and 26, just 11 games over.
Yeah, just 3 years in Houston.
Hurt an awful lot while in Houston. Joe Torre knows what he has. And Clemens, Pettit, and Mussina, they're basically 6-inning guys.
Of course, those two extremely close friends. 2-1, and it's pulled to short. Jeter will lob to Cano, and that is all for the Rockies. 2 left on for Colorado. We'll go to the 3rd inning. No score. Andy Pettit and Jeff Francis hooked up. Career hit at Coors Field, number 1,000 for Todd Helton. Congrats.
Michael Johnson, the world's fastest man. Michael holds the world 200 and 400 meter records. When he turns off the lights at night, he's in bed before the room gets dark. Still got it. Brian, what's up? Hey, Michael, how are you? Moving this quick can make you hot in a hurry. So what does the world's fastest man call for? Coors Light. Frost Brewed Coors Light. The world's most refreshing beer.
These are from Michael.
Ladies.
Hi, Michael.
Quest invites you to rethink Comcast. Internet users took the broadband challenge. 72% said Quest was as fast or faster.
When I did the test, I felt Quest was faster.
I'm really amazed that Quest is quicker.
The truth is out.
This assessment is an eye-opening experience.
See for yourself.
Quest has a killer value for the speed.
Get Quest high-speed internet with price for life and call now to get a free month, backed by our 100% satisfaction guarantee. That's our spirit of service.
Corn-based E85 fuel is popping up all over Colorado. Chevy offers more choices of flex fuel vehicles capable of using E85 than any other brand. It helps reduce greenhouse gas emissions and our dependence on oil. Good for the environment, good for our economy. Qualified lessees can lease this 07 Silverado half-ton for around $319 a month. Residency restrictions apply. Call for details. Chevy, made for Colorado.
The Yankees ready to go. Brad Hopp.
Alex. Yeah. What about bunting on Alex? Oh, Bob, do something. Should I bunt on Alex? Melky. Melky. Gags is coaching hard.
Matsui over there. Our Matsui's got a better arm than you guys.
Our Matsui?
Oh, yeah. There you have it.
I can guarantee you one thing, Brad Hopp will not be bunting tonight. Andy Pettit will lead things off against Jeff Francis. That pitch missed. Well, that pitch is in there, so that's too quick. With George Frazier, I'm Drew Goodman upstairs. We've been joined by the Rockies' #1 draft pick out of Vanderbilt, Casey Weathers. How you doing? Yeah? Let me pull this mic up for you a little bit.
First time we'll work with you on that. You just keep going hard. We'll worry about the microphone. We'll have fun with it.
We'll re-ask that. How are you doing? You excited?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm definitely excited to be here. You guys have been showing me a great time. A lot of fun.
Pretty nice to see a yard with 49,000 sitting in it, isn't it?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Isn't this something else?
Yeah.
You guys get this many at Vandy?
No. We got, I think, 4,000 at the regionals.
That's not bad.
Not too shabby.
That'll work.
We're coming up. Coming up.
Pettit fouls this one off. Now, Vanderbilt, so what'd you do? Be honest, you basket weaving major?
No, it's pretty tough there.
It's real tough there.
Yeah. Communications major.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah, there we go.
Bye-bye.
No, he's got about 20 good years in front
that's
of him.
right.
Then we can worry. As Pettit goes down swing. When did you really start showing up on the radar and rise to the top of this year's draft class?
I think it was towards the end of my junior year last year. I just started to get more comfortable, started throwing more. I'm fairly new to pitching and working with the coaches over there and everything, and they just had an idea of what I needed to do to be successful. So the end of my junior year, things started working out for me, and I think that put me on the radar to have a good senior season.
Did you go to the Cape in the summer?
I didn't. I was in Alaska. I signed real early to do that, and I had a lot of fun up there. Had a good summer, and then actually got an opportunity to play at Team USA this summer with Coach Corbin. Gave me that opportunity. And that was a lot of fun. Big confidence booster too.
You said you're relatively new to pitching. Where were you playing prior to going to the mound?
I went to community college for 2 years at Sacramento City, and I was an outfielder my first year, and I was a dual position player my second year. Much more concerned with hitting, and then once I got to Vanderbilt, that was my sole focus, was just pitching.
Yeah, figured it out pretty fast. When you throw 95, you're not going to get to swing the bat anymore.
Yeah, that's true. It was a little heartbreaking at first, but I love pitching now. So.
Well, it's got to be fun the ninth inning. You come in, the bases loaded. You come in, create your own problems, get out of them. It's fun to pitch it.
Yeah, absolutely. Just thriving in those pressure situations and just having fun with it. Every pitch is the same if you treat it like that. So, you never know what will happen, and getting a chance to affect the game every day is a lot of fun too.
Well, I think it's a good move on the Rockies' part to send you to Asheville with Mr. Harvey, a guy that's put up some big numbers as a closer and worked the mental side of those things with you.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very excited to work with him. They're telling me great things about him. He knows his stuff, and obviously that's the position that I see myself further in the road. Late relief, maybe even closer. Who knows? But yeah, I'm definitely excited to work with him and looking forward to that opportunity.
Casey, is it kind of neat for you? I mean, you come to the ballpark and hear the New York Yankees, and I think you heard of the guy at the plate, Derek Jeter, and a couple doors down, Alex Rodriguez. Does it get the juices flowing that much more?
Absolutely. Yeah, coming down and sitting about 5 rows back and just watching the guys and meeting them down in the locker room, and they're just, they're just older kids. They just still love to play the game, and you don't really know what to expect when you go in there, but it's definitely making me excited to maybe be a Rocky in the future.
Tell people what's your repertoire. I know you throw very hard. Tell people what your repertoire is right now.
Fastball, slider, changeup is pretty much what I'm going with. Still working on the change a little bit, but I have confidence in it, but just didn't get a lot of time to develop when you have 2 pretty good pitches and you're only throwing 1-2 innings. So. Seeing guys one time, you don't really need to show it that much.
You got to be looking forward to wood bats on a full season now and get rid of that aluminum stuff.
Definitely. That's that'll be fun too.
Most of the punch outs come on the fastball?
Sometimes, but that was more last year, and then my sliders really improved over the course of the year. Really gave me an opportunity to get a couple more punch outs.
1-2-3 inning for Jeff Francis. We'll come back. Rockies on offense right after this.
This quesadilla has 3 cheeses.
Yes, Mom, and seasoned beef.
And they gave it to you for $1.29?
They give it to everyone for $1.29. It costs $1.29.
Well, you should be proud for finding it.
Mom, please.
He's so modest. And handsome, too.
Taco Bell's new extreme cheese and beef quesadilla. Seasoned beef, nacho cheese sauce, and 3 melted cheeses for only $1.29. To get unbelievable taste and price, think outside the bun.
On your wedding day, when everyone is looking at her, she'll be looking at you. So rent your tuxedo at Men's Warehouse, and you'll look almost as good as she does. You're gonna like the way you look. I guarantee it.
Hi, I'm Champ Bailey. This week, the Denver Rescue Mission and FSN want to recognize the University of Denver's Theta Chi fraternity as part of my team, Champs Vitamin Water Volunteers. I'm looking for youth who want to help Denver's homeless by volunteering at the Denver Rescue Mission. Please join my team by going to champsvolunteers.org. You'll find all the info you need right there. Champs Vitamin Water Volunteers drink Power C for more strength. For us, it works.
I'm Drew Goodman for AMCO. Ballparks, arenas, that's where I'm most comfortable. But for my buddies at AMCO, this is their home field. So if you have a problem with your car, take it to the AMCO team. AMCO, AA MCO.
A curveball will spin up to 30 times a second and break as much as 17 inches. Watch every pitch in clear Panasonic motion. Panasonic Plasma for the speed of sports. Panasonic, ideas for life.
Fans Quest wants you to experience the ultimate in Rockies baseball. Enter the Quest Home Field Advantage contest. Win infield box seat tickets, go on field for batting practice and much more. Quest brings more Rockies into your life in more ways than ever. No scores. We go to the bottom of the third. Jeff Francis against his counterpart Andy Pettit. And the first pitch is down and away, ball one. Drew Goodman, George Frazier upstairs. Carissa Thompson on the field, and joined again this inning by the well-spoken, soon-to-be Vanderbilt graduate, not far off, Casey Weathers, the Rockies' first-round pick. Slowly hit to Robinson Cano. Casey, we heard that you were a big, strong guy. You look a little bit like a linebacker. You got some football in your background?
I don't. I didn't hit a growth spurt until about my senior year in high school. So by the time, you know, all that was past me. So.
You look like Frazier. Well, no, you don't ever look like Frazier because you got guns. George never lifted a weight in his life.
Popeye, no weights here. Just throw the baseball. That's all I ever did out there. Well, I think too, there's a lot of guys. Tulowitzki didn't get drafted out of high school. He ends up being a #1 draft pick, the shortstop here. I mean, there's guys that Chris Iannetta, not drafted out of high school, here at the big league roster, a 4th-round pick out of North Carolina. So a lot of them out there. Take advantage of it. You watching a little of the College World Series right now with a little envy?
Yeah, it hurts my stomach. I don't like watching it too much. Kind of pulling for Irvine, California team, a little underdog story. I don't know what happened in their game today, but they were fun to watch. But it definitely hurts, you know, coming from where we were supposed to be and kind of not living up to the expectations. But it's just the way baseball is, I guess.
Yeah, just keep playing baseball and having fun now.
That is a great story, the Anteaters.
It's a wonderful story.
Absolutely.
It's
0-2 right now.
Been forever since they were there. And they beat a crosstown rival basically the other day, Cal State Fullerton. Is that the area you grew up in? So you're watching a lot of those guys?
In Northern California, yeah, you know, just growing up, you know, you root for the Bay Area teams and stuff like that. My dad always loved Giants and the Niners and the Kings and all that stuff. So, you know, grew up loving baseball because my dad loved baseball.
Well, I guess that means when we go to Frisco, when he gets here, Drew, we had no more tickets. It'll be another guy leaving 180, right?
Absolutely, it sounds like. Kaz Matsui with 2 outs, nobody on. Kaz fouled out to first in the first inning. Did you get recruited at all in the Pac-10?
Yeah, a little bit. UCLA talked to, and then Big West. I couldn't went to Long Beach State. That's how I met Tulo up there, but he I don't think he remembers me, but I met him on my recruiting visit down there. So.
Was he your host?
No.
Because we'll give him a hard time and say, nice job. You could have had this guy at Long Beach State. Instead, he has to go back east.
Yeah, no, he wasn't. I knew a guy from Sacramento City, so you know we kind of know some mutual people and stuff like that.
A lot of good players have come out of Sacramento over the years.
Yes, they have.
Greg Vaughn, who's since retired, jumps to the top. Like Kevin Johnson, the NBA star, was a tremendous high school baseball player. This is slowly hit to third. That's a great pickup. Alex Rodriguez with the bare hand, he throws out Matsui. Hey, Casey, we wish you all the best. Good luck in Asheville.
Very much. Thanks for having me.
And we look forward to seeing.
It's a great game.
Forward to seeing you out here in the not too distant future.
Yeah, I appreciate it a lot.
You bet. Casey Weathers, the Rockies' #1 pick this year.
Behold the wonder of it. Its wide mouth allowing it to flow cold and unrestrained all that is parched. It is awe-inspiring, is it not?
You really love this river.
River? No. I'm talking about this Coors Light wide mouth can.
The Wide Mouth Can, a wide opening for wide open refreshment, only from Frost Brewed Coors Light.
People will travel great distances to enjoy this. You can get these wide mouth cans anywhere. Talking about the river.
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Ooh. Oh.
Want to get away? Now you can. Fly Southwest Airlines nonstop from Denver to Houston Hobby or Chicago Midway for just $79 or Nashville for just $89.
You are now free to move about the country.
Starting pitchers pitch every 5th day. That leaves us a little time to work out, study up on hitters, and help out around the clubhouse. We're just happy to help out where we can.
Thanks, Tim.
Well, George, last year Yankee fans were all over A-Rod for his defense. Not this year, though. A great play by Alex Rodriguez with the bare hand.
Well, it's his reaction. I think this all comes from the shortstop ability to have the agility that he has. Just think this guy was an all-star shortstop, switched the position when he went to New York because he knew Derek Jeter was there. He wanted to play on a winner. He made that sacrifice. And quite honestly, folks, a year ago, he wasn't very good. This year, only 5 errors on the season for Rodriguez, but because of his athletic ability, able to make those type of plays with a lot of speed at the plate.
Bobby Abreu with his second look at Jeff Francis. Joe Torre before the ball game said, you know, I had an opportunity to watch Jeff Francis throw for a while in the Boston game last week. He didn't get to see the whole ball game, but he was impressed. He said, you know, he's a guy that mixes speeds well. He's more of a finesse pitcher. And he said it may take us a couple times through the lineup, hopefully. Joe's a very humble guy, to see if we can figure him out. Well, this is now the second time through. That's down low, 2-1.
Yeah, you mentioned over in our dugout today, we were talking about it. We said, you know, get this, get that. And you said, you guys don't understand. There's 8,000 guys around Joe Torre when he has these conferences, and he has such a calming effect over everyone. And you know, you can imagine some of the questions that get fired off at him after a Yankee loss or win. And you know, what are you going to do, this guy, that guy? And he just takes his patience. He answers as many as he can.
Let's be honest. He is a perfect fit. Probably more so than any Yankee manager under George Steinbrenner, because he is a calming influence. He doesn't panic. Strike 3 on Bobby Abreu. And he deals so well with the media. He's really a very difficult guy in a tough town not to adore, and most New Yorkers, particularly Yankee fans, do.
And you mentioned Steinbrenner handles him extremely well. Heat away, looking for the breaking ball. Remember, Abreu struck out on a soft slider away in the dirt. That time, fastball away, just locked up Abreu. 4 punch outs now for Jeff Francis in the ball game. His career high 8.
A-Rod grounded to short his first time up. Softly hit, and it was a good play by Tulowitzki. Just marvel at the many different angles, arm angles that Tulowitzki and most shortstops have to throw with, on the move, in the hole, to their left, and he is always exceptionally accurate. On the corner, 1-1. A-Rod had a ridiculously productive April, 355, 14 home runs. That matched a big league record, 34 RBIs. Then in May, slumped to 235, 5 home runs. But here in June, he's hitting 390 with 8 home runs. He's driven in 28 runs, 26 in the last 13 games. He's on pace to hit 65 home runs and drive in 175. That's a pretty good year.
Yeah, it's a great year, but I don't think he'll reach that number. I really don't. Did he still, you know, you look at June, you look at May, the numbers of doubt matches up. I mean, 28 RBIs.
Curveball was short, 2-2.
Yeah, I don't know if you were pitching from 54 feet, that still would have been short. It was well out in front of the plate last night. Remember, Torrealba made a big move to keep that ball out in front of him. Alex Rodriguez, Prince Fielder, Justin Morneau with 20.
And Prince Fielder, I mean, he seems like he hits one every day now.
Think about the all-star first baseman candidates in the National League. Pujols, Fielder, Derek Lee, Ryan Howard, Todd Helton.
Swung on and missed, and A-Rod goes down swinging. The 5th punch out now for Jeff Francis.
Tell you what, Francis is pitching unbelievable tonight, because the reason behind it, soft stuff, everything's in. And then all of a sudden he'll ride that fastball up and out over the plate and keep it away from him. And just blew the ball by him. I mean, the reaction from Alex Rodriguez, and I mean, he understands he made a mistake on that. He's such a good hitter. He understands he missed a pitch, but he also knows Francis made a pitch when he needed to. 5 strikeouts now, 3 2/3 inning for Jeff Francis.
Here's Posada and a curveball in the outside corner.
Now let's take a look at the Hyundai cam where this ball was. See how he started so early on that pitch? His bat head was so far out in front of the plate as that pitch approached that it allowed it to get by him in a hurry. If he makes contact, he probably jerk it foul, because he started everything so fast there. Still a dynamic player to watch when he comes. Everybody here, last time I saw the reaction, Drew, like this was when McGuire in '98 and Sosa, when he came to the plate, everybody's on their seat waiting to see what A-Rod may do. And so far, He's grabbed some pine.
Third time he struck out in this series already. 1-2 on Posada. 2 outs and nobody on as the Yankees hit in the fourth. Yankees with 3 hits. The Rockies have been held to 1 hit. He tried to elevate there. 2-2. To short. Tulowitzki had trouble getting it out of his glove, but he'll still throw out Posada. Jeff Francis on his game. 5 punch outs, a lot of ground ball outs as well. Middle of 4, no score. Holiday to lead off.
My country, 'tis the sweet land of liberty, of the icy.
This 4th of July, the people of Southwest Airlines join the people of the United States of America as we celebrate our independence.
From every mountainside, let freedom ring.
You are now free to celebrate your birthday, America.
Remember last week when you hit Vinny in the head with the shovel?
I do not recall that.
It was too graphic for the kids, so I'm gonna have to block you.
You know, I got to make this up.
That's really not necessary.
This is Vinny's watch.
XM, 170 channels to find what turns you on, including Major League Baseball, every team, every game.
Life is hard. Pay-per-view is easy.
Stop acting like you're trying to understand our situation.
Why don't you explain it to me?
We in a war.
Isn't that the brother of the guy who owes you money?
There's a missing persons poster on every street corner.
We can look anywhere in the past. This is the actual past.
Yes. You think you know what's coming? You don't have a clue.
DirecTV pay-per-view. Just press a button and you're watching your movie.
Here's the Duck with our Affleck trivia question tonight. Who are the 6 teams to win a World Series championship since the Yankees last won back in 2000? The Yankees have had some opportunities since then, but could not come out on top. They've gone to the postseason 12 straight years, and last year they won their 9th straight American League East title. Won 97 ball games, tied with that other team in New York for the best record regular season in baseball. Pettit misses outside ball 1 on Matt Holliday. Holliday grounded to short his first time. Only hit for the Rockies. Todd helped. They have one other base runner. Tulowitzki walked.
And don't forget about Fireworks Day, July 3rd. The Mets are in town. You'll get a miniature flag courtesy of Lockheed Martin that date. Purchase your tickets at any of the Rockies outlets. And let me tell you, folks, if you don't like this baseball you've watched in the last 14 innings, something's wrong. 13 innings, that's close, Scoop. But there's something wrong here. The Rockies are playing great baseball.
Well, it's not just the last game and a half. It's really the last month for the Colorado Rockies after a disappointing first 6-7 weeks. They have played like many people thought they would play when they departed Tucson. Their record of 18-7 since May 22nd is the best in the game in either league. 1-2. And Matt reaches out and fouls it off.
If you follow that up with a breaking ball to Matt Holliday, I really believe you play right into his hands because he is such a good bad ball breaking ball hitter.
Not this time.
Nope. Threw it hard down in the dirt. That cutter we saw earlier, that about 84, 85, that pitch at 84 miles an hour. I mean, that's the biggest thing, Drew. When you watch the Pettit, we talked about it, it's listed as a fastball. That's a hard slider. And that ball's diving too much to even be the appearance of a fastball. There's too much movement on it at 84 miles an hour.
Helton, who also often works deep in counts, swung at the first pitch from Pettit and lined a single to left his first time up. was career hit number 1,000 here at 20th and Blake. And swings at the first pitch again, and this is popped up to Hideki Matsui in left. Let's answer our Affleck trivia question. Well, in 2001, the Yankees lost to Arizona in 7 games. The Luis Gonzalez game-winning hit. You name them all. You got the Angels in there. You have Florida, Boston in 04, the White Sox in 05, and St. Louis surprising everybody last year after winning just 83 regular season games.
Drew, I want to take just a moment and tell the Rockies fans if you want to become a sports buddy and help change a kid's life, learn more at denversportsbuddy.com. Freeway Ford proudly supports Sports Buddy. Check out the great car deals at cheaperfords.com. Freeway Ford, Denver Sports Buddies, it's game time.
Changeup. That's the best changeup he's thrown all night.
Yeah, really haven't seen a lot of them either. I mean, we've seen the hard slider down. We've seen a few curveballs, the fastball up into the zone. But as far as the changeup concerned, you're right. We haven't seen a whole lot of these. A straight change, a circle change with not a lot of movement other than the deception of the velocity on the ball.
Roger Clemens, Rodrigo Lopez tomorrow. Two balls, 2 strikes.
Well,
Pettit was born in Baton Rouge, but he grew up in South Texas. Drafted 22nd, the 22nd round by the Yankees back in 1990. And reached the big leagues in 95. 12-9 his first year. 21-8 his second year. This in the air to right field. Abreu, a fairly long run, but he'll get there. 1-2-3 inning for Pettit. He is now retired 7 in a row. 5th inning upcoming. A couple of bagels on the board.
In business, time is of the essence. To stay competitive, you need to get more out of finite resources. Quest provides tailored network data and voice solutions. Because when networks are optimized, your business can flourish. Get Quest, get nimble. The choice of 95% of Fortune 500 companies.
Corn-based E85 fuel is popping up all over Colorado. Chevy offers more choices of flex fuel vehicles capable of using E85 than any other brand. It helps reduce greenhouse gas emissions and our dependence on oil. Good for the environment, good for our economy. Qualified lessees can lease this 07 Impala LS for around $199 a month. Residency restrictions apply. Call for details. Chevy, made for Colorado.
You sure we're allowed to do this?
Yeah.
Come on, Hirsch, we've
Just
all done
do
it.
it.
What am I supposed to do?
Well, they sleep standing up, so just go up and push.
Then what?
What do you mean, then what? It'll tip over. It's hilarious.
Well, let's flash back to the Subway Series in 2000, won in 5 games by the Yankees. Though probably the highlight of that World Series, the most memorable moment was when Roger Clemens took the broken bat and fired it, he said, in the direction of the dugout, just trying to get it out of play. It certainly looked like he fired it in Mike Piazza's direction. Subway Series won by the Yankees 4-1 in 2000, and the Yankees have been shut out since. A drought of 6+ years, and that doesn't cut it in the Bronx?
Well, it went so long without winning anything. It all started again in the mid-70s, carried over into the 80s, and you had the drought again. Then all of a sudden, man, they got hot. In the 90s, late 90s, and then again, they're in the playoffs, they're in the hunt every year. So that expectation from not only George but the fans. You know, that's the other side of it. The fans' expectations in New York so much outweigh, I think, Drew, and you followed the Mets growing up, but I mean, the expectation of the Yankees year in and year out above the Mets and what they expect the Mets to do.
And
it's gotten better.
I like the standard that the Yankees set. Now, a lot of people don't like how they go about it because George Steinbrenner outspends everybody, but it's New York and they can generate more revenue than anybody else. I like that every year, short of a world championship, it wasn't a good year. And I think there needs to be a team that everybody shoots for, and in this case it's the Yankees. Another outstanding breaking pitch there. It may have been the changeup to strike out Hideki Matsui. 1 out, and yeah, the K's are starting to pile up. That's number 6.
I like to see the K's pop up in this ballpark, and again, from Francis, a lot of times, let's look and see if it was the changeup. I'd like to catch that right out of his hand because you don't see much of a slider spin there. What you do see, more of a changeup type spin as he gets off to the side of it and creates that big movement on it.
8 in a row retired by Jeff Francis.
You know what's going to happen? Tim Wilkie's going to get on that same page, and all of a sudden that ball 2 inches off will be called a strike because Francis has pounded that area throughout the ball game. And Wilkie, a guy that's been around a long time, a very good veteran umpire.
Helton feeds Francis. Textbook job there. 3-1, 2 outs.
Yeah, a little PFP work in the middle of the ball game. You like to see that.
You know, Clint Hurdle was asked, George, before the ball game the same question that you just brought up, and that is, you know, do you resent the New York Yankees? And he said not at all. He said, I get it. It's 105 years of history. They've won 26 world championships. He said they should be applauded. They compile a great roster every year, and he understands why there's a lot of Yankee fans here, just like when the Cubs come to town. They've been around for a century.
Well, and part of that is, why does everybody dislike the New York Yankees? Let's be honest. Why do they? Because of George Steinbrenner's ability to spend the cash, and he goes out and buys championships, which basically results they don't like a winner. And you know, I understand that side of the coin. I really do. But again, I think that the Yankees, unless you've been in there, and I've been inside that locker room, I think for fans to not really get the feel of what they expect from you as a player every day when you cross the white line.
You know, as a competitor, and every guy that reaches the big leagues couldn't have reached it. I don't care how much talent they have, could not have reached it unless they were a competitor. And to have the expectation that you're to win and win regularly and win championships, what more could you want as an athlete? Tulowitzki will throw out Phillips. Another 1, 2, 3 inning. 10 in a row set down by Jeff Francis. Just give him a little bit of a. Brad Hopp will lead things off for Colorado in the bottom of the 5th inning.
FSN Rocky Mountain takes you beyond the diamond as we give you exclusive access into the Rockies organization. We'll take you on the road with the Rockies and out on the town with the players. Rockies All Access, Thursday on FSN.
Introducing the 2007 Cadillac CTS Bose Edition, complete with a Bose sound system, sunroof, leather and wood trim, and a 3.6-liter engine. Keep your ears on the road.
Purchase or lease a 2007 CTS Bose Edition, and we'll pay for the sunroof and Bose sound system.
You know, I think you can tell a lot about a person by the drink they choose.
Really?
Yeah, like mine's a blue coconut slush mixed with a little vanilla grape. Means I'm awesome. You got a peach iced tea. What does that say about you?
That I'm an adult?
Exactly.
Tropical mango tea. New at Sonic. Cool, fresh brewed, and perfect for summer. Try a mango tea today or any other tea flavor because Sonic is your ultimate drink stop.
We believe in going our own way, no matter which way the rest of the world is going. We don't believe it should take a lifetime of working for the man to ride with us. Low monthly payments available through July 31st. Starting MSRP for 2007 models is $6,595.
Bottom of the 5th inning, Brad Hopp a few moments ago talking to in the dugout about his first at bat.
Cutter's like a really, really hard, big slider. Then that two-seamer, like out of his hand, the two-seamer looks like the cutter, so he started the two-seamer in. I was like, oh, he started the cutter at me. So I started swinging.
Well, George, whatever he's doing it well.
Well, he has, and what Brad's talking about, picking the ball up out of his hand and seeing more two seams than he is to no seams, which is, when you see no seams as a hitter, it'll tell you it's a four-seamer. And all of a sudden that ball's cutting an awful lot. 4 1/3 innings for Andy Pettitte. He's only given up a hit. He's walked one, struck out 4. I mean, he's been very efficient with his pitch count. It's just at 49. Francis at over 70 in his 5 innings of work.
Gorgeous night again in the Front Range. Tulowitzki takes down low. Tulo has yet to see a strike. Walked on 4 pitches his first time up. The Rockies win yesterday 3-1 over the Yankees. It was the Yankees' smallest output since losing 3-1 to the Angels back on May 26th in the Bronx. That's how good the Yankees have been going. Josh Fogg and a little help from the bullpen shut them down last night. Here's the 2-0.
Travis picked up one thing, or just watching what I picked up off of Andy Pettitte, but more importantly off Posada. Pettitte has a difficult time seeing the fingers. So if you, as you look at it, you can see that his fingernails are painted, and that's so Pettitte can see everything. You know, sometimes guys can't see, and if you tighten up your stance as a catcher, they don't see. Well, take the white fingernail polish, paint the fingernails. It helps them to see that.
Line drive that'll drop in front of Matsui. Base hit for Tulowitzki. Rocky's second hit against Pettitte, just their 3rd base runner. Take a look at our Excel Energy fun fact tonight. The Yankees were the Baltimore Orioles in 1901 and 1902. They were sold and moved to New York in 03, where they were known as the Highlanders until 1913. Be a hardcore baseball fan to know that. Another Excel Energy fact: did you know that more than 10,000 homes in the United States get their energy entirely from the sun? Torrealba with 1 out and Tulowitzki at first. Inside, ball 1. Torrealba a little late with that swing. 1-1. This season, Cardell Homes is sponsoring Home Runs for Hunger. Each time a Rocky hits a home run, Cardell Homes will donate $100 to the food bank of the Rockies. To learn more about Home Runs for Hunger or to pledge your support, go to cardellhomes.com. Tulowitzki run back to the bag by Pettitte.
Well, I think the big thing is it's a 1-1 count, 1-2 count. That's the only time he's thrown over. In his mind, it's a hit and run count. And so now, you know, 1-1, 1 out, bottom of the order. I don't know why you hit and run over Francis in the on deck circle, unless you want movement going, get 1st and 3rd, maybe get a ball in the gap, try to score somebody, apply pressure. And a lot of attention to Tulowitzki. He has 2 stolen bases.
Isn't it Lou Piniella, your old buddy, likes to hit and run at this part, right in this part of the order?
Bottom of the lineup, I'm putting them in motion. But that was a team in Seattle where he had Dan Wilson who couldn't run. So he put everything in motion to try to stay out of double plays, create some movement on it.
1-2.
Reynolds, we look at Andy Pettit's job tonight. You look at the pitches in this ball game, how many he has thrown and what he has worked during the innings. All of this is brought to you by Sonic. Only 9 in the first, 8 in the third, and only 7 here in the fifth. He's been very efficient, 56 total. All of that brought to you by Sonic.
Rockies' really only scoring chance came in the second inning. Helton singled. There were 2 punch outs, and then Tulowitzki walked. So his first and second, 2 outs. Torrealba grounded into a force out. I wouldn't call that a great scoring chance.
Not a lot. I mean, he's just been one of those guys that, to me, the big pitch for him tonight has been that hard slider. You know, I mean, they keep putting fastball up on the board here, but that type of movement and dip on the ball late in it, it's not a fastball. It's a hard slider that he's getting really out front on and cutting.
This is chopped up the middle. Jeter waits on it, and out at first base. Torrealba thought he beat it. 6-4-3 on the turn. That's all for the Rockies in the 5th inning. No score as we move to inning number 6 at Coors Field. Pettit and Francis dueling.
Last year, Wins for Kids raised over $50,000 for the children.
You could save with Geico Motorcycle Insurance. Enough for a day off with your special someone. Geico Motorcycle. Let's ride.
Moving day is here, the most dreaded of days. Packing, unpacking, your mind in a haze. DirecTV knows how stressful moving can be, so we make keeping your entertainment both easy and free. For uninterrupted service of the shows you like best, just leave the dish behind and we'll handle the rest. Simply dial 866 where you move on the phone. Let DirecTV turn your new house into a home.
Clint, this is a pitcher's duel that probably reminds you when you were growing up in the game.
Oh, it's a great ball game. Both guys are pitching extremely well. They're hitting their spots and challenging the hitters.
Stark contrast to the last series. The Yankees were in town in 0-2, huh?
Yeah, how about that series? I think they set all kinds of records. They're still standing today, but this is a good ball game. We just got to keep battling, make something happen on offense. Francis is pitching a gem.
Yeah, the thing, offense, that's the big thing. You got to get first, then you can do some things as a manager.
Well, I'm not worried about doing anything. Let the game come to us. We're playing well.
All right, hey, Clint, good luck the rest of the way. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Now, Jeff Francis will face Andy Pettit to begin the 6th inning. Jeff has retired 10 in a row.
How about this, Drew? You said 10 in a row, yeah, and only 1 runner to second. That was Posada back in the 2nd inning. That's how good he's been. And that total. I want to look at the play at first base again. Torrealba still upset, talking to himself a little bit on the Hyundai cam at first base. Did he beat this throw? This is why I like this camera, folks. The ball's not there. Foot is. Bang, bang play. Unfortunately for Mike Reynolds, he doesn't have the Hyundai cam to help him along down there.
Pettit struck out swinging back in the 2nd inning. In the 3rd inning, actually. And he takes strike 1 from Jeff Francis. That was Jeff's 72nd pitch. He was falling behind in counts early in the game. Not so, George, the last couple of innings.
Yeah, what's he done though? He's established the off-speed pitch and then allowed the fastball to come in behind it. When I say off-speed, it's not just curveball slider, it's also the changeup.
And he touches the outside corner.
You know, we talk about free and easy 95, 96. If you watch Francis right now, there's not a lot of effort involved in the 85, 87. Everything is the same. You don't see a lot of grunt. You don't see a head jerk. You just see everything nice and smooth through the delivery on all pitches. And everything's down. And it's the greatest thing about Francis that he just stays so calm and doesn't worry about it, even when he struggled early.
Swung on and missed, and that is strikeout number 7.
Well, 1 shy of that career high 8. He's done that a few times.
That'll bring up Melky Cabrera, ground ball to short and a pop fly to center field. The Yankees came into the ball game 112-75 all time against the National League. This is the 11th year of interleague play. That is the top mark in interleague play. And the last couple of years, carrying the flag for the National League, the Colorado Rockies, who used to be just abysmal for the most part when they took on the American League. Rockies 19-9 in interleague since the start of '06.
You know, a lot of times through the interleague play will make the biggest difference for you in winning a pennant or not.
Willie Taveras got there initially, thought he'd be able to field it on a hop, and then it got past him a little more. I still think Cabrera would have reached second. He runs well. So a double with one out by Melky Cabrera, and that ends the run of 11 in a row retired by Francis.
I don't think the doubt of getting there because of what Taveras did in center field to cut this ball off when he got over to it. They know he has an arm that's average or a little bit above. Hit off of the glove. Now I think he started maybe thinking 3 when it got away from the glove, but the recovery time and the speed got it back in a hurry.
Well, Jeff Francis will have to bear down here. He's got Jeter, who's 1 for 2, and then Abreu in a scoreless ball game, top of the 6th. The Yankees with 4 hits. The Rockies have been limited to 2.
And a ball hit hard in the outfield directly at any of the Rockies' 3 outfielders. Tough decision for Boa to send or not to send. In a pitcher's duel, 6th inning, no runs on the board. More than likely he'll send and force the issue to make the perfect throw.
And he's got a guy with very good wheels on base in Melky Cabrera.
And I'm talking about, and what I meant by that, a ball hit directly at one of these guys where they can charge on it. Then the decision's tough. Either side of them makes it a little bit easier for Larry Boa.
Strike 1 on Jeter. This is where he has really made his living. As good an everyday hitter as you will see. He's very special in clutch situations. The 0-1, and Jeter holds up. It's 1-1.
You talked about special situations, just 431, that's all, with runners in scoring position this year for Jeter.
Here's the 1-1 to Jeter, and it's pulled down the line fair. And that'll bring around Cabrera with the first run of the ball game. So Jeter comes through, and the Yankees lead it 1-0. His 34th RBI of the year.
Remember Joe Torre's comment. He said, we haven't seen Francis. He's been very effective. We watched the tapes when he pitched in Boston, so it may be that 3rd time through before we have any kind of success. 3rd time through, the double and right. Now this pulled down the line by Jeter into the corner. And then as Holiday had to play it off, pretty easy there for Cabrera to score. And now you've got to deal with Abreu and Rodriguez with another runner in scoring position.
And that extraordinary 431 average with runners in scoring position goes up. Bobby Abreu, strikeout victim twice, and he takes strike 1.
Now, prior to that, the Yankees had had their opportunities to score with runners in scoring position. They were 0 for 10.
Ground ball, gloved by Francis. He's got Jeter hung up. And Jeter did a great job. He stayed in that rundown long enough to allow Abreu to get to second base.
Yeah, he did. He did a great job. I'm looking at Francis thinking, you know what? He gave up the ball pretty early here. But a great job by Jeff Francis to snag that ball. It was hit hard. Continue to run, circle him, and push it back. See, he gave it up so quick. Now you don't have anybody backing up Atkins. See, here comes Torrealba, but there's nobody back there behind him. So if the throw's errant, then you've got a run that's going to score because of the home plate area. Great job, though, by Francis. You got the out.
And now you have A-Rod at the plate. Rodriguez, a weak ground ball to short, and he struck out swinging in the fourth. Change up, away, ball one. All the amateur photographers at the ball game, they take a picture of only two guys, Jeter and A-Rod, it seems like.
Yeah, and a few of Posada, but mostly it's A-Rod and Jeter. Yeah, no question.
Andy Phillips stepped out his last time up and said, "What's up? What am I, chopped liver?"
Yeah, what happened to all the lights around it? Well, you get that runner out in scoring position. Abreu runs above average, folks. When the guy has 12 stolen bases, Abreu does. He's only been caught 3 times. I'm not necessarily talking about him stealing third. I'm talking about base hits in the outfield. Cabrera was there in that position just a few minutes ago and was able to score.
Hey, 2-0 on Alex Rodriguez. Pop foul out of play.
I like it. Get aggressive with him, make him chase something out of the zone. He did that. He didn't give in to him on a 2-0 count. Because realistically, there's 2 out. And I know Posada's having a terrific year, but he doesn't have 27 home runs. He doesn't have 73 RBIs. If you fall behind, make him hit and chase what you want him to chase. Because first base is open with 2 outs. And I know Posada's had a great day, or a great year. But this guy here can hurt you with that one swing very far and deep in a hurry. He's done it to numerous guys all year. Now, see, the only thing that happened right there, I know you noticed it, but folks at home, one thing that happened is you look at the RBIs in the American League. Torrey Alba had set up inside on Jeter, and he had set up. I mean, he was out and ready to receive the baseball. When Francis turned to go back for a fake pick to second, Rodriguez looked down immediately to see where Torrey Alba was. You got change now. Going right back in there one more time, off of the plate. So hitters will look down as soon as the pitcher. Now watch, Francis going to wheel. Now turn your attention right here. Watch what he does. See him look down immediately, and then Torrey Alba trying to jump back to the middle to not give any indication to A-Rod maybe where they're going with the pitch. And a lot of times as a catcher, now you have to change the thought process because the hitter automatically is looking in.
3-1 on Rodriguez. And
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, he would not feed him anything center cut, so he walks A-Rod. First walk allowed in the ball game by Francis.
And here comes Bob Apodaca, but what I was talking about earlier, as you see, whenever Francis steps off, see, he's inside, he's set up, and then here's A-Rod. Look straight down immediately. Your vision, you'll let you see where he's moving behind you. And that, just give indications out to guys. Tony Pena, former catcher, former manager. Remember when he came in with Kansas City? He was a guy, they were on a roll, man. They were playing well, and Tony was managing that club, and they took off.
His son's hitting the ball very well of late in Kansas City. Yeah. And he has another son in the Mets organization who must have stolen all the groceries because he's a catcher like Daddy. He's 6'3" and 210. He's 17.
How about that?
Playing in the Florida State League. Talking to Tony before the ball game about both his kids. Like any dad, he is a proud papa. And he talks to Tony Jr. twice a day.
Well, sure they do. Those kids call, Dad, did you watch? Did you catch the highlights? Did you see anything? And, with today's process of all the different videos, obviously could take some of those at bats. Well, Francis, 2 outs, got to go to work. Runners on first and second.
Here's a strike on Posada.
Yeah, Posada looking back, saying that ball wrapped around the plate. And they ended up in the strike zone, but it wasn't anywhere near it when it crossed the plate area.
I tell you what, Torrey Alba saw Abreu about 30 feet off the bag. And the only reason he didn't fire it is Tulowitzki couldn't get there in time.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, watch how far he gets. He's over in this area right here when When the ball gets thrown, and see Tulowitzki's coming in behind him, but it's so late, you don't take that gamble with 2 outs and a strike on the batter, because you don't want that throw going into center field, because what it does, not only moves the runner over, but it also disrupts where that pitcher is on the mound.
1-1, swung on and missed. It's 1-2.
In the 6th inning, the Rockies will lead off Francis.
That's what I was just going to say.
And pitch count at 91.
Yeah. Jeff Francis taking a little extra time. Biggest pitch of the ball game thus far. Trailing 1-0. Francis with 2 men on, 2 outs, trying to get Jorge Posada. Here's the 1-2. He's got it. So Francis strikes out Posada in the inning. Jeter drives in Cabrera, back-to-back doubles, and the Yankees lead the Rockies 1-0, middle of 6 at Coors Field.
Corn-based E85 fuel is popping up all over Colorado. Chevy offers more choices of flex fuel vehicles capable of using E85 than any other brand. It helps reduce greenhouse gas emissions and our dependence on oil. Good for the environment, good for our economy. Qualified lessees can lease this 07 Impala LS for around $199 a month. Residency restrictions apply. Call for details. Chevy, made for Colorado.
AMCI's best-in-class certification for combined acceleration and braking isn't just handed out. You've got to earn it. Get 0% APR on the all-new full-size Toyota Tundra. The truck that's changing it all. Now at your Toyota dealer.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, get up, Bob.
Right where I wanted it.
Woo! That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Did you?
That's all you got?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's got Dinger written all over it. That's up.
Coors Light cold blast from last night. 2-1, 6th inning. Not anymore, 3-1 as Jorge Torrealba crushes that fastball from Mike Mussina. You know, Mussina, who's been in the game forever, he said 17 years, you still learn something new. Quoted in the New York papers today saying, you know, I haven't had a lot of experience against National League clubs. There are 2 outs, the pitcher's up next, nobody's on base. I don't know why I fed that fastball to Torrealba where I did. I should have been, you know, more cautious because I had a pitcher on deck. I think a guy like Mike Mussina.
Well, wait a minute, too. Hold on a second.
Francis takes a strike, 1-1.
Mussina ought to be thinking about it. But how about his catcher? I mean, you know, I know you're not familiar with the league, but they got a big scoreboard out in left field here at Coors Field that tells you where you are in the lineup. It's not real hard. You turn around and look and ask. I mean, that's what I tell every young pitcher I ever worked with. I said, when you go out and pitch 1 inning, you come back in again, know where you are in the lineup before you go back out for the second.
Sure.
And once you go once or twice through the lineup, know what you did to get that guy out. And do I need to reverse it? Do I need to change that as I go through the progression of the game? But when they're charting pitches, go look. See what they taught you. See how you can work through an inning.
2-1 on Francis. 1-0 New York, bottom of the 6th. Down low, 3-1. I mean, George, there has to be, when you were extended and worked more than an inning, there has to be, you know, constant conversation, especially with a starter. How'd we get this guy last time? You got him with a breaking pitch away. I mean, you have to be talking about it all the time.
No question. And I think, you know, the one thing, Drew, that I pound into kids' heads too, even if that's that hitter's strength and it's your strength, go with it. Why do you want to go to a weakness that you can make a mistake with versus using your strength to go get somebody?
Ball 4. That wasn't even close. Looked like he almost stumbled on that delivery. So Jeff Francis draws a walk, just the second allowed by Andy Pettit. Chevy offers more choices of flex fuel vehicles than anyone. When you drive any of these Chevy flex fuel vehicles, you can help reduce greenhouse emissions and reduce our dependency on foreign oil. Good for the environment, good for the economy, good for Colorado. Chevy, made for Colorado. Willie Taveras, ground ball to short and a strikeout. Alex Rodriguez almost close enough to shake hands with Willie. And if you're wondering at home, boy, is Taveras bunting for a hit there. He will not square around in a normal sacrifice position. He's much more comfortable dragging the bunt, even in a quote-unquote sacrifice situation.
Watch A-Rod. See what he's doing? See how he's leaning over and looking in, looking in? He's trying to see what the pitch is.
Sure.
You know, if it's, in other words, it's a slider in or fastball away. See, that ball's inside. Now, they get the guy out at second base. They get Francis, which obviously you're trying to sacrifice position, but now you got a guy at first with speed, steal base.
George, exactly. Not the end of the world in this case because of who is on first.
And what's important now is for Matsui to give him the opportunity to get to second. In other words, no first pitch swinging or second if it's not right where you want it. See, that ball was inside. He changed that bat angle, dropped it down. But A-Rod, from where he came to make that play, where he started from to come make that play, the distance to the ball wasn't very much. So look where A-Rod, here he comes, creeping. As soon as he sees that hand slide up at the bat, I mean, he got to that ball in a hurry, and then a snap throw down to Jeter for the force at second.
George, he's going!
Inside on Matsui.
See, and I tell you the other thing, Willie Taveras was a teammate of Andy Pettit in Houston all that time. I mean, you should be able to watch and see what his move is, what his tricks are, and what his A move, B move, and C move is.
Talked to Jeff Houston a lot about this with left-handers. A lot of times it's a guessing game. You go first move, but you try to pick out something subtle. Does he set differently when he goes to first than when he goes home? Does his head? A lot of lefties, George, as you know, they look at the plate when they go to first, and they look at first when they go to the plate.
He's staring right at first base the entire time. Never took his look off. Now, the reason why they stare at first is to hold the runner. The visual effects of what he does. He can hold by looking, and then as he starts to fall forward, then pick up the plate and make the pitch. But as he picks his leg up, it's not a direct look. See, it's hold, and then finally he picks up the plate area. But by holding facial look more than anything else, you have the ability to do that.
Meanwhile, it's 2-0 on Kaz Matsui. And this is a little blooper that Jeter will handle. 2 outs. And here comes Matt Holliday. Esurance inside information. Pettit has 190 career wins, the same amount as the current starting rotation for the Rockies.
He's been around a little bit longer than the current rotation of the Rockies.
Yeah, I mean, but you know, and he's number 3 in wins because Mussina has 242 and Clemens has 340 something.
3 whatever.
349 now. Doug Marino straightens us out. This ball hammered deep left field. Way back. Take a good look. You won't see it for long. Up on the concourse. An emphatic 2-run shot. Oh, my. You bet. And the Rockies lead it 2-1. As strong a man as there is in baseball. Big Daddy with the big fly.
Wow, that's unbelievable how far this ball went. And quick fastball forgot to cut. Pettit's reaction on the mound when it left the bat, knew it, Holiday knew it, and the race was on. Except nobody in the seat could catch this one. It was all the way up on the concourse.
Some parking lot attendant has it now, George.
Hey, who's throwing balls down here anyway?
Exactly.
It's Matt Holiday, that's who.
Man, oh man, was that flat crushed. One and one on Helton. Man, you better have had your seatbelt on that ride.
How about Pettit's reaction after he threw the pitch, and then he realized once it left the bat, look at this reaction. He knew it. He knew he just gave up this ball game 2-1, and it happened with one swing and a mistake.
And Helton to the gap in left center field. Cabrera gets there quickly. Todd digging for two, and he's in there with a double. Helton's second knock of the night. 1,001 hits at home. Double number 17 this year.
But I tell you, when he knows this ballpark so well, they go away with the pitch, he goes to the opposite field. He knows with these outfield arms, and Cabrera has a good arm. But when you move him left or right, the accuracy is going to be off a little bit, and that's where Helton realized that, cut the bag. So he's got to gather himself back up, Todd a little wider swing, cut to shorter distance on his way to second base, ahead of the throw from Cabrera and the tag from Cano.
The estimated distance on that Matt Holiday missile, 442 feet up on the concourse. Here's Atkins, an RBI last night. He's got 11 ribbies in his last 6. And the fastball's up. Well, George, we talked about Joe Torre and the conversation he had with the media before the ball game, saying that it may take us a couple times through or so to figure out Jeff Francis. Maybe it's taken the Rockies the 3rd time through to figure out Andy Pettitte. Cold foul, 1-1.
Well, I tell you what's going to happen now. I mean, and it's very obvious that the Rockies go in and they spank Schilling and Beckett. Then they come in here last night and win against Mussina 242, Pettitte at 190. You know what? You're not going to be the kids coming in town to hit the playground anymore. Everybody's going to know. And that guy, to me, at some point, Matt Holiday, has to start being mentioned not only with All-Star, but in the MVP side of things with the RBIs, the average, everything that he's done this year.
Two balls and a strike.
And we looked at it earlier, Drew, the pitches by inning with Andy Pettitte. He was cruising. I mean, it was unbelievable. 4, then 6 hit here in the 2nd. All that brought to you by Sonic.
Look at the slide again. Posada, the tag. There's the tag of the plate, and then there's the tag of Helton.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
You try to get yourself in line with the runner coming so he can visually see you because the ball's coming from behind you. So what you're trying to do is he's waving him and also telling him which side of the plate to get to.
And the way this game is unfolded, this is obvious statement of the night. 2-run difference could be huge in this one. Jeff Francis has been outstanding. Andy Pettitte has been outstanding. The Rockies had much better swings against him last inning, namely Matt Holiday. And Todd Helton with the double, a clean single there. Tell you what, George, if that ball that Garrett Atkins whistled to left field is 2 feet to the left, 2 feet to the right, Matsui's not going to be able to line up the throw as accurately as he was. I mean, the ball was right at him. Here's Hideki And he'll be thrown out by Tulowitzki. 1 out.
Big out. Behind in the count, 2 balls and a strike. Took the ball away from him. Jeff able to get the ground ball out. The bullpen and the Rockies, Affelt and Julio both down there getting loose. The hard-throwing right-hander. And of course, Affelt has probably been seen more. Well, Julio also those years of being a closer. Obviously, the Yankees should be familiar with both of those guys, but show. What am I trying to say, Drew? They should be too.
Yeah, these are 7th inning guys.
Somewhere
This is if Jeff Francis gets in trouble in the 7th inning. 2-1 Colorado. Robinson Cano. And he gets a curveball, slowly hit to Kaz. 2 outs. How good has Jeff Francis been?
Yeah, how good. I mean, but prior to the 6th inning, nobody got to second base other than Posada. Tired those guys out. Tied to career high. 8 strikeouts so far in the ball game. The last time it struck out 8, it was back in July of '06 versus St. Louis. This season, it struck out 6. That was against Boston.
Torres forced to get Vizcaíno up because Pettit's due up next if Phillips were to reach. Phillips, 2 ground outs. 2nd inning, he grounded into a double play and then grounded to short in the 5th inning. 2-1 Colorado on a Matt Holliday 2-run home run. 0-2. Next pitch from Jeff Francis, number 100. At one point, Jeff retired 11 in a row. Got it on 3 pitches. What an inning for Francis. Maybe his best of the night. And he's had a number of good ones. 2-1 stretch time at Coors Field. Rockies ahead of the Yankees. Panasonic Plasma Speed of Sports. Todd Helton around 3rd on the base hit by Atkins. Here's the slide. Here's the throw. And Helton thought he got his hand in, and our replay showed he did. Tim Welke made the out call, however. Our Panasonic Plasma Speed of Sports. Rockies ahead 2-1. Brad Hopp against Andy Pettit here in the 7th. And this ball unloaded to left center field, and a sliding catch made by Hideki Matsui.
And he caught it, and a good hustle by the youngster, the umpire. Todd Teschner on that run out to make sure that ball was caught. A lot of guys take a couple of steps to turn. Watch your umpire take off as that ball's hit out into the outfield. He's on a dead sprint just like Matsui, and a great catch in the outfield. You take a look at the Hyundai cam and how his concentration, you watch these outfielders, it goes so quick, but this camera gives you that look of what their concentration is, enabling them to make that catch.
Strike 1 on Tulowitzki. Troy's been on twice, a walk and a single. Let's go back to that swing by Brad Hopp. Listen in.
All the seniors, groups of 10 or more, may purchase an $8 ticket for almost every 105 game in the outfield box and the right field mezzanine. These areas offer easy access and plenty of shade. 303 Rockies for more information. Right now, Francis with 100 pitches in the game, Drew. The bullpen silent after an excellent inning that he had. His season high innings pitched 119. That was in May against Arizona. His career high came against St. Louis in '06. 129, a career high in strikeouts tonight with 9 against the Yankees. There's one thing to say, oh, I said a career high. My career high in strikeouts was 9. Oh, really? Who was that against? The New York Yankees.
Impressive. As was Josh Fogg's start last night.
Yes, it was.
2-2 on Tulowitzki. And this ball pulled in the hole, a base hit. you have a break in your windshield, take it to Elite Auto Glass #1 for more than one reason. Well, there's nobody warming up, George, but Jeff Francis is not on deck. Ryan Spilborghs is.
Well, that may be the cat and mouse game that Clint trying to play a little bit down in the bullpen. And LaTroy Hawkins, he's starting to warm up right now with one out and a runner at first base.
Center field, and it will drop. That was a trap. Tulowitzki to second, back-to-back hits. And the Rockies will play the offensive card. Spilborghs will pinch hit. And let's see if Joe Torre counters and brings a right-hander in.
How about that shortstop? Nice hustle there by Cabrera, not able to get to it. And Tulowitzki able to get on into second base. Francis tonight, outstanding job. An incredible job against the Yankees. 1 run on 5 hits. He set a career-high 9 strikeouts. Congrats, Jeff. Hopefully this bullpen can take care of business as they have so far in the last couple of weeks. The bullpen, by the way, folks, as we enter this ball game, we'll throw an awful lot of numbers at you. But the lowest earned run average in the big league starting May 22nd by a bullpen, the Colorado Rockies, 1.75.
So Spilborghs, who pinch hit last night and lined out, will get an opportunity here. Runners at first and second, 1 out. Colorado ahead 2-1 as they hit in the 7th. Spilborghs hitting .500 with runners in scoring position. That's pretty good.
Remember, we talk about Little League numbers. There's one for you.
Yeah. 2 homers, 6 RBI game in Baltimore in a start last week. Inside 1-1. Spilborghs has become the first guy off the bench late in the ball game to pinch hit now for Clint Hurdle. Just always gives you a quality at bat, and there are a couple of good options because he has Jeff Baker as well.
But because of that number you just mentioned, the 500, Drew, he's the first option when the Rockies have a chance to drive in a run. Because of his success, Clint's going to go to him before he will. Obviously, Corey Sullivan left side, not going to do that with Pettit, but before Baker, because he's sticking with the hot bat right now.
Tulowitzki at second, Torrealba at first. 2-2.
Like that hard slider again, but earlier in the game, Drew, he was up to 85, 86, that at 83. His pitch count at 91 now.
Ground ball cut off by Phillips. He gets 1 there. That's it. And it'll be a 1st and 3rd situation as Willie Taveras comes up.
Well, Rocky fans, when you donate your car, truck, or SUV to Cars Helping Kids, you can change a kid's life. When you donate a vehicle, you not only get a tax break, a free tow, but you also get a $1,000 voucher toward the purchase of a new or used vehicle from Freeway Ford and Longmont Ford. For more information, go to CardsKids.com or CheaperFords.com.
George, we've seen Willie push the bunt. You got a left-hander on the mound. You got a fairly inexperienced guy at first base in Andy Phillips. It wouldn't be the worst play in the world.
It would not be the worst play in the world, because you still have good speed, as you mentioned, at first base with Spilborghs. As a bunter, you also look at which way they fall. We talked about a little bit about that last night. As a pitcher, if he squares himself up, obviously you can go left or right, but if he falls third base side, it helps you determine. Push the ball to the right side, as you're talking about.
But you got Cano swung up the middle. The better play is to go to the right side here. swung on and missed, and as we pointed out last night, that does not automatically eliminate the bunt from the thought process of Willie Taveras. He had a bunt single last night with 1 strike, and he's done it a few times this year.
The only other hard thing, you're going to have to hit a ball fairly hard with the bunt to get it through this grass quickly. Remember last night how the grass just gobbled up that bunt. When he pushes it towards second, push it relatively hard. Not any indication so far.
1-1 on Taveras. First and third, 2 outs. This is it for Pettit no matter what. He's scheduled to lead off in the 8th inning. Willie pulls it in the hole, drives in the 3rd run. Willie Taveras makes it 3-1 Colorado.
Now trying to throw the ball in, trying to jam. Good job by Willie to open up on a ball slider down and in. And with Rodriguez in on the grass and worried about what may happen with that ball, Hop had his encouragement.
Yes! All right.
And now here's Matsui.
Well,
has had a quality swing.
There was a conference very quickly in the dugout between Joe Torre and Don Mattingly. Do I make a switch now and bring in Vizcaíno, the right-hander? Well, you don't want Matsui hitting left-handed. He's much better from that side, and that's why, you know, Don Mattingly was like, no, you know, you don't make a move here. You've got to leave him where he is on this side. That's what a good bench coach does. He helps that manager look at the numbers.
This is his last hitter. You have to believe Holiday's on deck. If he doesn't get Matsui. Spilborg's at second base, runs pretty well. Matsui hitting .308 with runners in scoring position. Here's the 1-1. And with 2 outs, George, he's hitting .500 with runners in scoring position. That is the highest batting average in the National League. Right man for the job. 3-1 Colorado as they hit in the bottom of the 7th. Same score they won by last night over the Yankees. You know, Posada, George, old school. You know, everybody has the Charlie O'Brien mask, it seems now.
Sure.
He's still got the hard hat and the face mask. You pull it over the top.
Yeah, absolutely. And he frees up quick and goes after that ball in a hurry. I mean, he is old school. I can tell you that behind the plate. Still has that throat guard. Obviously, you need that. But everything else, a lot of old school with Posada behind the plate.
And now Pettit wants to visit with Jorge. You know, I think of Yankee catchers, George, and it's impossible, even though Posada's been there a long time, it's impossible, at least in my lifetime, when you think of Yankee catchers, not to think of Thurman Munson.
Oh, absolutely, Drew. I mean, you know, when he came there, unfortunately, he passed away, but his locker was still intact from the day he walked away from it to get on that fatal airplane. And it, you know, again, you know, what he meant to this organization and still means to this organization.
A Yankee captain, and they don't hand that out very frequently or indiscriminately. There's the other Yankee captain, Derek Jeter. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Kaz Matsui. Up high, 3-2. Matt Holliday on deck. He gave the Rockies their lead an inning ago with a monstrosity of a 2-run home run. More numbers for you. Matsui, .368 average with a full count. And that'll go up down the left field line. Spilborg's a walk home. A green light as it rattles around. Here comes Taveras. Going for three is Cash. Two-run triple. And the Rockies lead the Yankees 5-1. How about that Kaz Matsui? How about those flyers up top?
When the speed gets on the base paths and you put a ball into the corner the way Matsui did, they kept him on the right side of the plate, hoping Pettit could do it. Fair by about 8 inches. Easily for Tulowitzki to jog home. Then you get followed up as they see the flyers coming in the dugout. They know how much fun this is.
Big hops for Jeff Francis in the dugout.
Duck.
Matsui, a triple to drive into 5-1 Colorado. Back in a moment. Rockies leading the Yankees 5-1 as Matt Holliday will step up against Luis Vizcaino. Matsui with a triple to drive in two. We saw Vizcaino yesterday.
33rd appearance, high earned run average, too many walks. Holliday aggressively going after the first pitch. And we showed earlier with Matt Holliday swinging at the first pitch, his average over 500. Excuse me, over 400. That's a little high.
Some common themes in this great run by the Rockies the last month. And near the top of the list for me, yeah, Kaz Matsui, Willie Taveras. The two-out hitting, George, as well.
Well, think of all the big hits. You know, you mentioned with Matsui, 500 average with 2 outs in a runner in scoring position. How many big hits after the 7th and beyond?
A ton.
Yeah, to win ball game. And big hits, I mean, doubles, triples. There's more than just the single or the flare to right. I'll tell you another guy that's played a role in that. Get another one.
Yeah, another base hit for Holliday, another run for the Rockies. That long reach and the powerful arms off the end of the bat. He drove it up the middle, make it 6-1 Rockies. Another 2-out RBI.
Anytime with 2 outs, you let a big guy like Holliday and you try to feed fastballs because you're behind 2-0. And Holliday goes away from him on a very difficult pitch to take back up the middle. A ball in the low to mid 90s and takes it right back up the middle, and it's pretty easy for Matsui just to jog to the house and get those high fives down in the dugout. Drew, and listen, folks at home, I'm excited for the Colorado Rockies. I'm excited for that dugout. I'm excited for Matt Holliday and Hop and Atkins, everybody down there, guys in the locker room, because they've waited so long to have this feeling of winning baseball.
And this is one hopper at Cano that'll finally get the Yankees off the field. The Rockies score 4 times after tallying twice in the 6th. A crowd of 50,000 giving the Rockies a standing ovation. They lead it 6-1. Colorado Rockies baseball on FSN is brought to you by Chevy. Made for Colorado. Visit us online at ColoradoChevyDealers.com. And by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Gatorade, is it in you? The Rockies with 4 runs, all with 2 outs in that 7th inning, now lead the Yankees 6-1. Our Valero energy to take you anywhere. Play of the inning. On a 3-2 pitch, Matsui rips one down the left field line. And as he applauds, he whips around the bases for a triple. A 2-run triple. And that is a place at Coors Field you rarely see triples hit. That left field corner. You see plenty out in deep right center, or maybe even left center, or down the right field line, but not down that left field line.
Well, what ends up happening, if you haven't played in this park, which obviously Matsui's not got a lot of games here other than the last couple of days, hits into that corner. And if you try to overplay it and pin it, it's going to run against that lower half, and that's what happened to him.
Johnny Damon, the pinch hitter. LaTroy Hawkins, the pitcher. And it's 2-0. 8th inning. Damon, and then the top of the order, Melky Cabrera and Derek Jeter. What a performance as you look at LaTroy Hawkins' numbers, and he had a huge impact on yesterday's ball game. More on that in a moment, but what a performance by Jeff Francis tonight.
How about that performance? A career high 9 strikeouts. Francis gave up 5 hits. He walked 1 and threw 100 pitches in the ball game. Just a terrific job for Jeff Francis.
Atkins, good pickup on both ends. One by Garrett, one by Helt. 1 out. So Damon is erased, and Hawkins will deal with Melky Cabrera, who has scored the only run tonight for the Yankees.
And the last 9 1/3 for Hawkins, 7 punch-outs, 6 hits, an earned run average of 0.99. 0 walks. That's been the big key. Same out of the rest of the bullpen. 29 1/3 in their last 29 1/3, I should say, covering 10 appearances. 2 earned runs, an 0.61 earned run average.
Breaking pitch misses, 1-1. This is a Yankee team that had scored 19 runs on Saturday and Sunday against the Mets in the Bronx. Joe Torre's club has crossed home plate only twice so far since coming to Denver. The final line on Andy Pettitte is not a pretty one. 6 2/3. He gives up 6 runs on 9 hits. Yet if you watch the first 5 innings of this ball game, Pettitte could not have pitched any better.
One thing about this club, and it's starting to remind me of the early years of my broadcasting here in Denver in 98, 99, when that lineup could put a 6 spot on the board in a heartbeat.
Tulowitzki, the overhand fastball to get Cabrera. Just watch Troy Tulowitzki throw, and you know why.
Well, a lot of
people
guys
liked him as a pitcher.
A lot of guys, Drew, what happens is they end up, if they go sidearm, they lose velocity and movement. But if they get on top, they really keep it. Well, Tulowitzki keeps it all the way around, if he's under it or on top of it.
Todd Helton, you just put a glove up, and he's going to hit it. Derek Jeter, 2 for 3. His double drove in the Yankees' run in the 6th. The Yankees took a 1-0 lead. The swing that changed this ball game belongs to Matt Holliday.
Boy, does it ever. And it changed a lot of things in a hurry. You talk about a crowd going crazy for Matt Holliday. 13th home run. He now has 57 RBIs on the season, a 3 RBI night.
And you know what? For fans in left field that wanted to field a home run, they had no chance to field Matt's unless they were getting an ice cream cone. He was up on the concourse. Here's the 0-2 to Jeter, and Hawkins was halfway to the dugout. That didn't miss by much. Here's the home run by Holliday.
Yeah, where this thing landed, Drew talked about it. Try to get it to you quickly as you can. 6th inning, Matt Holliday. Wow. Pettitte upset. He should be. 95-mile-an-hour cheese on the outside corner.
Jeter living on the edge, 2-2. As Hawkins tries to get him out on the edge. Now 3-2. This is where Torrealba is so good. You know, Torrealba, you can't have a quiet guy back there, George. You got to have a guy that's not afraid to be vocal. And Yorvit is not. I think he walked out a couple steps and reminded LaTroy, hey, he can't hit a 5-run home run here.
Exactly. You got a 5-run lead, pound the strike zone. If he hits it out, tip the cat and go after Abreu. Don't worry about it. I liked what LaTroy did right there. Deep breath, relax the body, relax the arm and the mind to make a pitch.
George, we alluded to it a moment ago, but the biggest pitch of the night last night for me, and I think for you as a former reliever, when the Troy Hawkins came in and got Jorge Posada.
No question that was the biggest pitch, because the bases were loaded and 2 outs, and one of the hottest hitters in all of baseball at the plate in Posada. He had a 1-hop line drive right to Tulowitzki to end the inning. You see that Yankee dugout, man. It's pretty silent over there right now with the success the Rockies have done in this ballpark. A good pitch here, you got to get over.
You know what? The Yankee dugout, George, displaying the faces we saw in April and May. Great inning by LaTroy Hawkins. 1-2-3. Rockies 6, Yankees 1. Taco Bell game reset. In the 6th inning, the Rockies trailed 1-0. Not anymore. Matt Holliday with a man aboard. A 442-foot home run. They hit a wall up on the concourse. And then Tavares drove in the 3rd run with 2 outs. And then Kaz Matsui triples with the runners going on a 3-2. That made it 5-1. That got Andy Pettit out of there, but Matt Holliday wasn't done off Luis Vizcaíno. He rips the ball up the middle. 3 RBI night for Holliday. And all smiles in the Rockies dugout. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. 6-1 Colorado. They've out-hit New York 10-5. Upstairs with George Frazier, I'm Drew Goodman. Here's Garrett Atkins, and Ron Vallone's first pitch is in there for a strike.
The New York Yankees 1 for 4 with runners in scoring position tonight. The Colorado Rockies 4 for 6.
This is a flare to short right center that'll be grabbed by Bobby Abreu, 1 out. Let's check in again with Carissa.
Thank you, Drew. What a ball game, huh? This is fun. All right, I want to remind you guys, quick reminder, Rockies All Access this week. It's Thursday nights. George, you got to sit down with Don Mattingly, former Yankee, now a coach. And Drew, you sat down with Brad Hopp, the player of the homestand, who's been doing very well this month, homered in his last 3 of 4 ball games, and hit his first Grand Slam ever on Saturday against Tampa Bay. Rockies playing great baseball. So Thursday night, Rockies All Access. Tune in. Back up to you guys.
Who hosts that show?
I don't know. Keith Blyer? Oh, wait, no, he's gone. So it's just me. Solo host. That's why I appreciate your guys' help this week. It's just me.
Basically a shameless self-promotion, I see.
But I didn't mention it. I didn't mention it.
She didn't bring it up?
Thank you, George. Thank you.
I thought,
my little buddy over here did it.
Fill in the blanks. Carissa, nice job.
He just threw some hints out there. That's all. 50,110 last night. 49,000 in the ballpark to watch. 49,723 to be exact. But tonight's attendance, 50,110. As you take a look at kind of an old friend, Ron Vallone. His 8th game he's appeared in. 630 earned run average, 10 innings pitched. Yeah, trying to get his feet wet during ball games like this.
George likes anybody that remembers the Andrews sisters. 0-2.
Exactly. Vallone, when was Vallone here? Come on, Dougie. Come on, Dougie, you're better than that.
I don't know. I think Neil Sedaka had the #1 hit. 1-2 on Brad Hopp.
Hey, wait a minute. 2001. Somebody else might have been working here at that same time. I wonder who that might be. Is it the little guy to my left side over here? Were you in 2001?
No,
your first year? 02, that's right.
02. 2 outs, and that'll bring up Tulowitzki. How about Troy quietly, George? 2 for 2 and a walk and scored a run tonight.
Absolutely.
Played his normal stellar defense.
Played very good. I mean, he's made the plays that he's had to make. He's had to handle speed on those plays. A couple of singles, a walk and a run scored. His average quietly at 271 right now. A couple of home runs, 3 of those to be exact, excuse me, and 28 RBIs.
Pulled down the line, hooking into the crowd, foul. I can't tell you how good it is to not only say there's 50,000 in the house, but to look around. And it reminds me of the Tuesday and Wednesday nights in the early days of Coors Field when you just couldn't get a ticket. And guess what? The Rockies keep playing this way, they'll keep coming back. And this isn't just a 1-night or 2-night deal. The Rockies have been playing like they thought they would play coming out of spring training over the last 4 weeks.
But you think Matsui was gone, Hopp and Atkins weren't hitting the way they're hitting now, and the pitching wasn't as consistent, nor was the bullpen. This is the first time the bullpen has really been what they thought it would be, with the exception of Ramirez that is down, and Julio's picked those numbers up.
And you know what, George, and again, this was your area of expertise. It's where you worked for 10 years in the big leagues. A bullpen is best when you use them when you want to use them, not when you have to use them.
No question. When you're forced to use somebody, Jeter once again going to dive, but your idol got you.
Yep. Yep, your hero got you. 1, 2, 3, 8th. We will go to the 9th. The Rockies 6, the Yankees 1. Colorado Rockies baseball on FSN is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, with more flights to more places than ever before. Southwest is taking low fares farther. Visit southwest.com. Rockies leading the Yankees 6-1 as we go to the top of the 9th inning. On the Chevy post-game report, post-game reaction inside the clubhouse. We'll hear from Clint Hurdle, as we always do as well. Tulo's throws, more on the sensational rookie shortstop of the Rockies, and Sammy Sosa. We did not mention this. You'll hear it on the post-game show and see it, hear about it in detail. Has reached number 600, 5th player ever with 600 home runs. They're the fellas out there. Huey and Roger and Tim and the rest of our crew. To throw the 9th inning, Jeremy Affeldt. By the way, that home run for Sosa. Playing now for the team he came up with, and he did it against the team he came to stardom with, the Chicago Cubs. So some irony there. Affeldt looking for the final 3 outs. Bobby Abreu, Alex Rodriguez, and Jorge Posada due for New York. Abreu, nothing for 3 tonight. Twice he's been fanned in the game, both times by Jeff Francis, who struck out a career-high 9. And Affeldt's first delivery just missed off the outside corner. The Yankees down by 5 runs, in jeopardy of losing the first 2 in this series, coming off an 8-1 homestand. The Rockies, if they can hang on here, will go to 8-0-1 over their last 9 series, George. How about that?
How about that? I mean, what a big number on that deal. And again, not to be satisfied with these first 2 wins either. Come out here tomorrow, it's Roger Clemens, but come out here tomorrow and be prepared to beat Roger Clemens and try to sweep this thing.
There's another strike, 2-2.
Now, the thing you preach as a manager, you can't win tomorrow till you win today. And I think a lot of guys get ahead of themselves saying, okay, you know what, it's this guy we're facing. We haven't had good success, so let's look here. And you know what, you try to win today's ball game. I mean, Joe Torre's walked into a buzzsaw here in Denver, a very hot-hitting Rocky ball club.
Strike 3, delayed call by Tim Welke. But Affeldt has punched out Bobby Abreu.
Tim Welke giving him a stare and telling him it's right on the outside corner, it's paint. You know what? Toriyama didn't have to move a whole lot. He watched it, thought about it, and made the call. There's a lot of times those hitters have to realize pitchers practice too.
A-Rod tonight 0 for 2 and a walk. You know, the most frequent question that I know I got, and I'm sure you got, George, over the last 24 hours, what was the breakdown of the crowd last night? How many Yankee fans by percentage?
Well, I didn't get that many, but I mean, I thought it was 60-40 Yankees. I really did till the 9th inning, and then a lot of those people kind of swayed over that live in Colorado that are Yankee fans cheering for the Rockies. You heard as much "Let's go Yankees," and then all of a sudden it was drowned out, in my opinion, by "Let's go Rockies."
See, you know what? It's funny because my take on it was there were plenty of Yankee fans, but I still thought the majority of the fans were rooting for the Rockies. I think you could tell right now. Not too many people sitting on their hands. 1-2 on Alex Rodriguez. You know, the Yankees are like the Beatles. Wherever they go, whether it's in the Bronx or on the road, they play in front of full houses. And flashing cameras. Two balls and 2 strikes. And that just missed. 3-2. Jeff Francis, just a remarkable job tonight. Here's the 3-2. And a smidgen inside. 3 borderline pitches. And it's a walk to A-Rod with 1 out.
Well, trying to see where this pitch may have been. It cut at the last second off of the plate. It's obviously created that. Late movement. Didn't get the call from Tim Wilkie. 1 out.
Posada, a base hit his first time up, a ground ball to short and a strikeout.
What you really want to avoid is getting Brian Fuentes heated up. You try to see Eckfeldt work through this with a 5-run lead, and right now you just see some soft tossing by Fuentes. It's got to get to that situation. You just hope it doesn't get there. I'd like to see the rest of the bullpen close this game out.
0-2. Big curveball from Jeremy Affeldt.
I'll tell you another feeling out of the bullpen, Drew, and a lot of people don't think about this, but when you're a setup guy, you're a 7th, 8th inning guy, and you have the feel from the crowd to close a game out in the 9th. Sometimes because of the 0-2s and the stand-ups and the crowd, and you know it's about over, you get overamped at times and have a tendency to overthrow the slider. He didn't here on Posada. Second punch out after in this inning.
Our Gatorade players of the game. You have to have a pitcher and you got to have a hitter. Tonight, Jeff Francis, masterful. Career high 9 strikeouts, 7 innings, 1 run on 5 hits, and Matt Holliday drove in 3. Rockies trailed 1-0, and then Matt delivered. I mean, boy, did he ever deliver. A 2-run shot way up on the concourse. And later, he would add an RBI single. He's driven in half of the Rockies' runs tonight. The 2 Gatorade players of the game. And that's Suey. Fouls off the first pitch. It's 0-1. So great to see this joint jumping again.
Well, isn't it though? This is awesome.
And George, some meaning behind it as well, because you're not just talking about a team beating the iconic New York Yankees a couple of times so far, but you're talking about a team headed in the right direction. Here's the 0-1. That's outside. 1-1. Might have been a 2-package of seeds night for Matt Holliday. At the shortstop, Tulowitzki. He'll go the long way. There's the ball game. Rockies have taken the first 2 against the Yankees. 3-1 on Tuesday night and 6-1 tonight. Jeff Francis outduels Andy Pettit, Matt Holliday, Kaz Matsui, the hitting stars, and the Rockies, for the first time this year and the first time since last July, 3 games north of 500 at 37 and 34. The Yankees have lost 2 straight. They fall to 35 and 34. Again, the final score: the Rockies 6 and the Yankees 1. What a job. The FSN Live postgame show starts now.